Check the description for the following discount codes. Today I'm going to take a look at two button boxes from Asetek. They're entry-level Prima button box, which is what you see here. And whilst I say entry-level, nothing from Asetek is truly entry-level. The quality of Asetek stuff is always excellent, and even their cheaper stuff is still the same build quality as, say, the Forte or the Invicta. What they tend to do is remove features as you go down from the Invicta to the Forte to the Prima, but retain the same build quality, which I think is a great strategy. It does, however, mean that even their cheapest offering isn't as cheap as perhaps what you could buy elsewhere if you don't mind sacrificing on build quality. Perhaps allowing for some flex in your wheel because you're paying less money. With Asetek, you won't get any flex in your wheel whether you go Prima, Forte or Invicta. It just isn't something they compromise on when it comes to build quality. So that's good and bad. I think it's good because you get that shared experience throughout the range and you just miss out on features, but it's bad because even the cheapest stuff isn't that cheap. In fact, let's have a quick look at the prices here. So a button box, for those of you that don't know, is basically the middle part of this wheel here. If you look at the box for the Forte, that is the button box itself. You can see there's a shadowed outline of a round rim on the outside of the front of the box there. So that is the button box. And then, so that's the Forte is a GT based button box. The Prima that I have here is a formula button box. Again, you see that's the button box itself, and you can just see where you add the different handles on depending which way you want to go. I'll go into more detail about options in a second. First of all, let's go through, let's have a look at the Prima to start with. We'll start with the entry-level button box and tell you what you get with that. So, the Prima formula button box. This is when I talk about build quality. It's made of an injection molded chassis featuring carbon, glass and a plastic composite material allied to a metal spider interface for a stiff, non-flexing wheel. This sort of composite is the same as what you find in the Forte and the Invicta wheels and button boxes as well. Again, no compromise on the strength there. As far as buttons, rotaries, dials, funky switches, we have 88 individual input options. All of these can be customized and assigned to whatever you want. And then there's 15 fully customizable ARGB LEDs as well. Now, with the Prima, the handles that you see on here at the moment are they're like a hard plastic, and this is something that's changed over time because I've got another Prima wheel here. This isn't a button box, this is a complete wheel. And they went for a rubberized sort of material. I don't know whether the video will show the difference up between the two, but I much prefer this rubberized finish to the sort of hard plastic on the Prima here. The hard plastic just makes it feel that bit cheaper. It's not the plastic itself is solid and firm. It doesn't flex. It feels fine, but it feels like plastic, like something you might find on a molded cheaper steering wheel. Whereas previously it was this nice rubberized grip, which you also found on their Forte wheel. Again, this is a complete wheel rather than a button box and handles. Same rubberized grips. So that is something I've noticed that's changed. So there are options though when it comes to these grips. If I just scroll down here, there's a choice of 4 different handles. They call them compatible with this button box. What we've got here is a Formula regular, what we've got here is a Formula LMP handles. So they have this extra curve at the bottom, and can I show you where they screw in? So they screw in there, and they're screwing behind where the paddles are here. These paddles are kind of optional. I mean, you need them for formula use, but you can put them up the top, in the middle, or down the bottom, and you can add analog clutches or for accelerator and brake if you wish as well. So you can have more than just what you see here. This is just what it comes with as is, so to speak. If you buy the button box and then the handles, you get one set of magnetic paddles. These paddles are the same as all the other ones on the Asetek wheelbases. They feel great, they have very little throw, they're all exactly the same. Can't really go wrong with a solid magnetic paddle shifter, can you? You can hear that. And speaking of the ways things sound, the buttons, the funky switch, your rotaries, your dials, they're all really nice quality. I mean, you can hear even the smaller buttons have a nice dampened sort of feel and effect to them. And everything just feels solid, smooth, and really nice quality. I always liken decent knobs and switches and buttons to high-end home hi-fi equipment. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. So they're all great. Again, they haven't compromised on the quality of the button switches, dials, and rotaries. There's just less of them than you find on the Forte, on the Model Up. So yeah, handles. These are the LMP handles. The regular formula handles finish here. There's no additional bottom piece. The regular formula handles are also available in suede. So if you don't like this hard plastic finish, which I don't, you can have them in suede. They also do some extra large formula handles as well, but they're not available in suede, at least not currently on the website. Because suede would really, like the face of this is aluminium, brushed aluminium or polished aluminium, whatever it says it is, I can't quite remember now. But I actually quite like the sort of finish of this aluminium. And if you coupled that with the suede handles, it'd be a nice wheel. I mean, it's still a decent wheel, but I think it would look nicer and feel nicer in the hands with those suede handles that are available. The quick release is, again, the standard Asetek quick release, which is just absolutely brilliant. It's by far the easiest quick release I've used on the market to date. The wheels literally just drop on and off, as you can see in the clip that I'm showing you now. You can't ask for any more. There's no flex, there's no wobble, there's no play in the mechanism, and it just flicks on and off simply by squeezing that handle at the top. Super, super easy. And again, this is the same on the Prima as it is on the Forte, as it is on the Invicta button boxes and wheels themselves. Everything's carried through as far as the quality goes. What else do we have to talk about on here? I'll show you me, if I haven't already, I'll show you me using it, just so you can kind of see, you know, how it sits in my hands in use. It's not the easiest angle to record video at using steering wheels, because the camera has to be off to one side of the rig, which just makes it a little awkward. But it gives you some idea what it looks like in situ and what it looks like in use. Even though these handles are plastic, there's no sharp edges, there's nothing that's gonna sort of cause you discomfort on your thumbs, your hands, or your fingers over time, that I could tell from, you know, my brief testing. Obviously I haven't put 40 hours into testing these, but you know, what was it I tested the other day? Fanatic wheel, where I noticed there was a hard edge at the top where my thumb was, and straight away I was like, that's going to cause me a little discomfort over time, I think. Again, it all depends on the size and shape of your hands. So that is the Prima button box. Currently the price of this is €221. That's excluding VAT. So obviously in the UK it's going to be a little bit more, I would guess. And obviously, depending where you are in the world, the price may vary. Also, that is currently on sale, down from $260 actually. And there will be a discounted link in the description. There always is for Asetek stuff. So that's the Prima button box with the LMP handles on. This is the Forte button box. And you can see it's a very different shape, and it is of course designed to take GT style wheels, mounts either side here and at the bottom. This is what it looks like without any paddles fitted, because as you will see in a moment, I was using this in dirt rally, so I don't need any paddles. I thought it was a good opportunity to show you exactly what it looks like with them off. Again, the same Asetek quick release, the same composite material that doesn't flex or moan or groan under use. Here's the paddles, by the way. They literally just, you slacken off this one, this slides out, and that exposes another bolt there, which is what's sticking out of the bottom, and you just put it in, do it up, job done. And the same applies for any of the other positions you want to use on there as well. I'll tell one thing I will say is straight away you notice the weight of this. Now that's partly because obviously it's got a big, I'm saying that even this is heavy too. Just these Asetek wheels, they're just, so this would be the lightest one with the plastic handles. It's still got a solid weight to it. It just feels quality, which is nice. You know, when you pick something up that you paid good money for, you're like, yeah, actually that feels like I've got something worthy of my 256 euros that this currently is. Again, you can choose different rims. This is just a 330mm round rim. Oh, and the diameter of the formula was 290, in case you wondered. So on here, so differences. This one has 112 individually mappable buttons, rotaries, funkies, switches and dials versus the 88 of the Prima. It doesn't actually say how many programmable LEDs we have. It's funny, on their website the specs are not laid out exactly the same for each product. So some things are in one place on one product and a different place on the other. So I'm just trying to see if I can see exactly how many LEDs this one has that's programmable. Oh, 15. No, that's the rev light. Flag lights, buttons, 330. How many do we have? It doesn't seem to say. It just says programmable ARGB LED lighting. Okay, cool. Well, you can see from the video clip there's quite a few LEDs and they are all programmable to how you want to have them. Other differences are we have a carbon fibre weave faceplate on this versus the aluminium one on the Prima. Like I say, I think I actually prefer the sort of aluminium look versus this carbon fibre look, but that's personal preference and each to their own. And again, like I say, it's the same composite material, and I actually really like the finish of this composite material. It's nice. The wheel I mean, the wheel is irrelevant because it's the button boxes that we're looking at. You can buy any wheel you want, but this is a suede wheel, obviously. So again, just like on the Prima, all the buttons, lovely, solid, damp and feel. Rotaries, solid, smooth. Dials, solid, smooth. Funkies, solid and smooth. Even the little switch, I would say out of everything, these little switches here feel the least like solid and smooth, but they are just tiny little switches. They do depress in as well. It's, you know, there's everything on there that you need in a GT wheel. And again, the same sort of array of paddle options at the back. So this one I tested in Dirt Rally. If I haven't put that up, then I'll put a clip of that up now. And you'll see me giving it a bit of a beating. Again, not the easiest to film, particularly in this case, because I was using my handbrake and BD8 shifter. I needed to have the camera a little bit further back so I didn't hit it with my elbow whilst taking the footage. Have I already mentioned the price of this one? I think I did, didn't I? It was 256 euros. Again, that's currently on offer, and again, further discount from my link in the description. But, you know, using both of these wheels on the Invicta base with, you know, reasonable force feedback strength, I don't run it stupidly high. I experienced no flex, no play in anything. Everything works exactly as it should. Once I plugged it in and updated the firmware in both the button boxes, brought everything up to speed, it all worked just fine. And I had a great experience and a lot of fun trying them both out. Oh, one other thing to mention, the Forte button box comes with a sheet of stickers so you can label your buttons and switches and dials should you want to do that. You also get Allen keys, Torx keys and the appropriate screws to put everything together as well. But I think that pretty much covers it. Like I say, both of these, the Forte and the Prima, are both the usual Asetek excellent build quality with their excellent quick release, and the only real difference is the number of button switches and dials, the faceplate being carbon versus aluminium on this one, and of course handle material and rim material, but that's down to you to choose what you want anyway. If you want suede handles, like there's a suede wheel in my hand here, then you can buy them, and I think that would really go well with this wheel over these plastic ones that I'm not really a fan. That's my only negative actually in this review, is that I don't like that they've gone from this nice rubberized material to this plastic on the Prima. I don't know whether if you bought a Forte button, but I don't even know, you can't really, because that's for GT use. I was going to say whether that would give you the rubberized ones like you have on here, but I just don't think you would. Oh, the only other negative, aside from these plasticky bits, the whole idea of these button boxes is that you can change the type of wheel you're running. They say between races. Yes, it gives you the ability to swap rims for each race. I honestly don't know anybody that's going to get out the Allen key and Torx key and undo the paddles, undo the handles, swap them over for another one to do a different style of race. I mean, I get the idea. The idea is you can buy one button box, or at least certainly in the GT style, for X amount of money, and then you save money by just buying perhaps a D-shaped rim, obviously a round rim like this, and not have to pay for the middle part again, the button box effectively, and just be able to swap them over. But it's not really very convenient. I mean, realistically, especially as this one I haven't got any paddles fitted to, but that's not really common for GT. It's more because it was for rally specifically. You have only got 6 bolts to undo. So maybe it's 5 minutes to swap it over. But we know as people, any inconvenience is an inconvenience, and you end up not doing it. So I think maybe for a few people that really don't want to spend money, you know, buying dedicated wheels, so a dedicated rally wheel, a dedicated GT wheel, a dedicated F1 wheel, maybe they'll do that and swap them over. But I think for most of us, we probably wouldn't bother, and we'd probably just buy complete wheels for the type of racing that we want to do. Now, I may well be wrong there, and let me know in the comments if you're someone that actually sees a benefit to a button box and individual rim setups, you know, and again, individual handles on this Formula style one, because this is a Formula style wheel. We can't put a round wheel onto a Formula button box. So it can only be used in this configuration, which means you can only change the handles. Like I say, I don't really see a huge benefit of that unless you just have an array of different handles that you like to swap out between. But anyway, that's more of a personal preference thing. What you choose to do with it is entirely up to you. But as with everything Asetek, I have no complaints. The build quality is great. Whether you like the styling and the look of things is entirely down to you. And the prices are, as I mentioned earlier, and there is a link below that's also discounted. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.